During the Murdaugh trial, the clerk of courthouse Becky Hill, was seemingly illuminated with the attention that all of the nation's media descending on Walterboro, South Carolina had to offer. She was thrilled to be the center of attention. So clerk of court Becky Hill was accused by Murdaugh's defense attorney, Poot et al., of interfering with the jury and of tampering with the jury. We're going to hear about that today.
When you enter a guilty plea, you give up important constitutional rights. Those include your right to remain silent, not be compelled to testify against yourself. You also have a right to a jury trial where the state would have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. In the event you exercise your right to a trial, you have the right to have Mr. Lewis cross-examine and confront witnesses against you and compel witnesses to appear and testify.
The court's giving all of the pre-plea waivers
On your behalf. You also have the right to have these 3 of the charges presented to the Colleton County Grand Jury, 1 of them presented to the Richland County Grand Jury, where in each of those cases, 12 of 18 grand jurors will determine whether or not the case goes forward. Finally, you have a right to prevent certain defenses which you waive or give up when you plead guilty. You understand all those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Understand the rights I've explained to you. Do you wish to plead guilty and give up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
So that was the waivers.
And you're pleading guilty to 2 counts of misconduct in office. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Hubbard's range is not on here.
It's 1 year and a fine of up to $1,000. I apologize, Your Honor.
Okay.
I did not put that on any of those sheets.
And the obstruction of justice
Carries up to 10 years.
up to 10, and perjury is 5.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
Obstruction of justice up to 10 years. Perjury up to 5 years.
Ms. Hill, you understand the potential sentences in each of those cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, do you fully understand the nature of the charges against you and the range of possible punishment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the manner in which Mr. Lewis has advised and represented you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had the opportunity to review all the evidence against you and discuss it with Mr. Lewis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you need any more time to speak with him?
No, sir, I don't.
You believe he's done everything for you that he could or should have done?
Yes, Your
Are
Honor.
you completely satisfied with his services?
Yes.
Has anybody promised you anything or threatened you in any manner to get you to plead guilty here today?
No, Your Honor.
You understand you got 10 days from today's date to appeal your guilty plea and my sentence.
Yes, Your Honor.
Understanding the nature of the charges and the consequences of a guilty plea, how do you plead here today?
I plead guilty, Your
To
Honor.
all 4 charges?
Yes, sir.
Specifically, January the 14th of 2024, SLED was advised that there were several graphic crime scene photos that were designated as sealed exhibits during that trial, and they had been released improperly. SLED also received photos of text messages containing pictures of these sealed exhibits. The contents of the photos indicated they had
Say what? They didn't accidentally see them in court then. The sealed exhibits didn't accidentally get shuffled. Text messages with graphic crime scene photos?
The contents of the photos indicated they had been taken inside the Colleton County Courthouse. The investigation established that the photographs of the sealed exhibits were posted on Twitter after a member of the media shared the photos with personal acquaintance.
So a member of the media had access to sealed exhibits and was showing them to personal friends. And then that person said, you know what we need to do? We need to put them on social.
The metadata of those photos, as Your Honor knows, in the digital age, you don't just have a photo, but we can tell where it was made, when it was made. The metadata from the pictures of the sealed exhibits showed the photographs were taken on February the 28th, 2023 at 7:49 p.m. inside the Colleton County Courthouse.
So an iPhone then. 7:49 p.m. What, Becca Boo, you giving private tours of the evidence in a murder trial?
During the trial of State versus Murdaugh. In fact,
Girl.
it was after hours, so there was no business going
No
on
shit.
at the courthouse. The security
Didn't she tell Justice Told, oh, it might have just not gotten into the sealed folder and the media can look at the photos at the end of the day and they might have just been flipping through them and looking at it?
The card access log showed that Ms. Hill's security card was the one that allowed access to the secured area where the photographs were taken. And that access card showed she was there from 7:46 p.m. to 8:06 p.m. So it puts her there at the time these sealed exhibits were photographed. The same photographs were then placed on Twitter and shared with others.
Your Honor, I want to say that I am truly sorry. And I do take full responsibility for my actions. And I know that I have let down this court, my community, and the people that put their trust in me.
How many times did she practice this in the mirror?
There is no excuse for my mistakes.
Accurate.
I am ashamed of them. And I will carry that shame with me for the rest of my life.
It's giving Sarah Boone. Your Honor, I will humbly carry this shame with me the rest of my life.
I am ashamed of them. And I will carry that shame with me for the rest of my life. I have already begun the hard work of rebuilding the relationships that I damaged by accepting responsibility, by seeking forgiveness from those that I love, and by repaying any improper bonus I received. I am committed.
Improper bonus? You fucking stole money. Improper bonus. You didn't think you deserved the bonus? It's an improper bonus because you stole money.
To making amends, to being honest, and to living in a way that reflect the values that I failed to uphold. Your Honor, I respectfully ask for the opportunity to continue supporting my family and to work every day to rebuild the trust that I have broken.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, anything else?
No, Your Honor, nothing. Thanks.
I've certainly taken in what all has been presented here today.
The birds are outside
And I
the
can tell
courthouse,
you,
not my house.
Ms. Hill had Mr. Hubbard's team uncovered any sort of jury tampering, there would be a much different sentence here today.
Without the jury tampering, it's still pretty fucking bad.
There's probably nothing more sacred in our system than the jury. And had there, and I've known Mr. Hubbard since his hair was dark and I had some hair. So if his team, and
Yes, sir. It's South Carolina. We all know that y'all know each other. We all know that y'all know each other.
I know both the lawyers on his team, and if they tell me at least they couldn't prove it, then that's enough for me. I'm sure you have, and I know you've been humiliated throughout this whole ordeal, but of your own doing.
Yeah,
A
of
lot
her own
folks
doing.
got swept up in the hoopla that was that trial, and unfortunately, with the obstruction charge, a lot of folks probably made a lot of money, but you didn't.
What do you mean by a lot of folks probably made a lot of money, but she didn't?
By virtue of that. But with that being said, I would agree with Mr. Lewis. I don't think this, the conduct here warrants an incarcerated sentence. So
Non-custodial
on
sentence.
The misconduct in office, on each of those, I find should be committed to Department of Corrections for a term of 1 year, provided upon service of 1 day time served, balance be suspended with probation for 3 years.
So 1 year with 1 day time served suspended. So a suspended sentence with 3 years probation.
There will also be 100 hours of community service associated with one of those. I didn't put it on all the sentencing sheets because I didn't want probation to misinterpret it and give her 400 hours. On
3 years
the
probation.
obstruction of justice, I find should be committed to Department of Corrections for a term of 5 years. Provided on service, 1 day time served, balance be suspended with probation for 3 years. And finally, on the perjury, I should be committed to Department of Corrections for a term of 5 years. Provided upon service, 1 day time served, balance be suspended with probation for 3 years. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Leonard, you've heard about some of my misadventures when moving from Southern California to, well, Massachusetts. And I do not want to be embarrassed again with the wrong footwear for the environment. And that's what I appreciate most about today's sponsor, BRUNT. Because BRUNT removes all of my missteps from the past and just provides a fantastic work boot. Not only are these incredibly comfortable and easy to break in, but One of the things I really love the most about the Brunt work boots that we have struggled with in our family is being able to find a boot that doesn't squish all the toes in the toe box. And the Marin boot that I am so excited about is a work boot that checks every box. Not only is it lightweight, but it is waterproof, slip and oil resistant, heat resistant, and electrical hazard rated. It's time to check out Brunt because not only do they have free shipping, but they are dropping limited edition styles all month long. And we know that those are going to sell out because there are more than 500,000 customers that also love their Brunt boots. So Lawnard, with temperatures dropping and the holidays coming up, it's time to treat yourself or a loved one to real comfort. So skip the throwaway gifts and get something that will last. Brunt workwear. And right now, our listeners get $10 off their entire order with code LAWNERD. So head to bruntworkwear.com and use code LAWNERD. That's bruntworkwear.com, code LAWNERD for $10 off. And remember, they have free shipping. So order today and let them know that the Emily Show Case Briefs sent you. Let's get back to today's episode. We took a look at former Clerk of Court Becky Hill. That was an elected position. She was the clerk overseeing the Murdaugh case and had been charged with felony perjury, obstruction of justice, and 2 counts relating to improper use of her official position related to improper stolen bonuses that she gave herself out of funds that were meant to A, support families that were not able to collect on the child support they were entitled to, and B, pay the employees who were helping collect those child support funds. She paid herself a bonus out of that, which was not entitled to her. Improper theft. I'm going to use that synonymously. She pled to all of the counts against her, and we learned some new information from the prosecutor in that hearing that not only did Becky Hill allow access to sealed photos in violation of Judge Newman's orders, but she used her swipe card to swipe into the courthouse after 7:40 p.m. to allow media access to sealed photos and swiped into the sealed evidence in the case. The evidence in a murder case stays in the courthouse. That is locked. She went into the courthouse after hours with her swipe card and unlocked access to that evidence, including crime scene photos of the victims, Maggie and Paul Murdaugh. And then one of the members of the media showed those photos to friends, and a friend is who put it up on social media. So those photos that were sealed in this case, that were never supposed to be for any consideration other than the jury, now exist online in perpetuity because she went after hours and swiped in. And then when Justice Toll asked her on the stand under oath if she allowed access to sealed exhibits, her answer was, no, ma'am.
Did you ever allow anyone from the press to view these sealed exhibits?
No, ma'am.
And at the end of the prosecution making a very thorough record with some new information, including the fact that Becky Hill's son, Jeff Hill, which I've covered on the channel, still is pending on the wiretapping case, and that he gave information from the wiretap. He was the IT director for the county, for Colleton County. He wiretapped within his position and gave information to Becky Hill. He is still pending on those charges. Becky Hill was not charged with it. The prosecutor also made a very thorough record about why they did not pursue jury tampering charges, even though the allegations of jury tampering are still the subject of Alex Murdaugh's appeal that is going to the South Carolina Supreme Court in early 2026. We will watch those oral arguments together. So make sure you have the Lawnard app if you want to keep following up with Murdaugh. When I say we do not finish covering cases when the verdict is in, it's because we continue to cover cases long past when the verdict comes in. And sometimes that is more frustrating than others. And watching Becky Hill get sentenced to 3 years probation, 100 hours of community service, $11,880 of restitution that she owed back to the county from the funds that she took as an elected official, and suspended time, it is no wonder that people are frustrated with that sentence. But she got a non-custodial sentence. The judge said if there had been charges of jury tampering, the sentence would have been quite different. The judge also said that many got caught up in the his words, not mine, hoopla of the Murdaugh trial, and made a comment saying, many made a lot of money on that case, but you didn't. I'm still curious what the court means by that, because I think that people making money off the case, is he referring to other elected officials? Or is he referring to like the media? Because Becky Hill was making money off of the D4 funds, and she tried to make money off the case. And her book got pulled out of self-publishing because she admitted that there was parts in the introduction that were plagiarized. Her attorney argued that she had already suffered, and his turn of phrase was she already lost her life and has been shamed by this and can't go out in her community because of the shame that she feels. Yeah, I imagine Colleton County's not happy with her. Those aren't crime scene photos being shared all over the internet. Those are two very different things. So we are not done discussing former clerk of court Becky Hill, because she is going to be the subject of Murdaugh's appeal to the South Carolina Supreme Court. And they will decide if they are going to keep the standard that they use now, which will make it harder for Murdaugh to get a new trial, or if they are going to change to the federal standard, which will make it easier for Murdaugh to get a new trial. So we are going to have to wait and see what happens early in 2026. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed this episode and don't want to miss updates on your favorite cases, you're going to need the Law Nerd app at lawnerdapp.com. That way you can stay in the loop on the cases that matter most to you, and you never know when you're going to catch feelings for a new case. So make sure you get it for free on iOS and Android. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a Law Nerd.